players and two good pals as well. Enjoy this in the company of our commentary team, David Corkill and Paul Mitchell.
Yeah, we're a few days after the 5th of November, but expect fireworks here between these two former world champions, current world champion out there, and either of these players could actually go all the way and win this tournament. This could be one of the hardest games they'll have.
Absolutely, and for a second round match, we sort of looked at it and went,
29 metres.
Please, can they get through? Because it's one of those games that everybody wants to see. It's so tidy, it really is. And again, Alex has got this grittiness about him here. He wants to win this so much, he really does.
We shall see how things pan out. Two top-class players. There'll be very little between them as Greg Harlow opens up with a loose ball.
Well, no one ever really wants to say too much when they're being interviewed at the start of a match. These two guys know each other so well. All down, as Alex said actually in his interview, it's all down to who plays well on the day, because there's just nothing between them, irrespective of the ranking situation, where there's some 6 places now. That was reversed not so long ago. I think there's something special about winning international open in your own home country. Alex's case is just up the road.
Your bowl is 14 inches short of jack high.
Well, Greg has always been known as an attacking player. He's pulled back over the years on a particular shot play, and it's worked out very well, concentrating on his drawing, which has been exceptional. There's a good example of it, putting in a really good second shot. It's what you're looking for in the first end. Keep it nice and tight.
It's a very small gap. The gap on Greg's bowl is 5 inches.
The voice of Alan Thornhill, our marker.
Very experienced marker, Alan Thornhill. Commonwealth Games and World Championship level.
Just wants to run this right in the back. If he could fall back.
1 red.
Just a little beat through.
He's got a little bit of extra weight on this, Greg, to try and bounce the jack forward if he can against the ball. Oh, he nearly made it. Very nearly made it.
One red.
Just looking to crunch the jack against the ball and bounce it forward if at all possible. Not exactly a spare shot opportunity, had to be careful.
One shot, Alex Marshall.
So the opening into the Scot. Well, there aren't many tournaments that Alec Marshall has played in 15 times and never won. This is his 15th appearance here at the Scottish International Open. runner-up in 2005 is his best.
Yes, and in
Jack
that particular
then,
final, he looked like
meters.
odds-on favourite. He played the most marvellous game in the semi-final, and prior to that, he'd been exceptional, but he moved onto a different level in the semi-final. And Ian Bond was due to play him, and Ian was interviewed and said, well, is it really worth my while even turning up? He was that good. But Bondy did turn up and took the title away. Alex was just discussing his first game with Shalom Ben-Ami from Israel, who actually played very well in the International Open earlier this year, coming over from Israel without any real experience at all of the indoor carpet. And the guys were telling me he was brilliant in the practice games. He really was, and Alex thought he was in for a tough one, but unfortunately it didn't happen during the real match, and that's the way it is.
Gap is 2.5
Just turned
inches.
out to be target practice for Alex Marshall. 16-0, 13-0.
Shalom's a great sportsman, though, in other areas as well. As Greg sees the opportunity for a little runner, looking for the ball onto the 2 red. The 2 of them will go if he gets it right. There they go. So good at that shot. Controlled weight. One of the few players that plays the controlled weight so well.
Very slightly short of Jack High.
And the ball that stayed almost did a little pirouette to say, look, I'm the shot. Greg just wants to come inside that red ball.
Well, missed a chance
One
to
red.
add another. Alex, one of the smoothest deliveries in the game. It's a ball away, sweet as a nut. A lot of people would think he'd play that on the forehand and trail the jack through, but look at this. Oh. Looked like the harder way in.
1 red.
He makes the shot.
Never discouraged by the hard way. Greg Harlow coming down, carrying his ball, which is fine.
Yeah, it looked like a forehand shot just to rest the bowler, turn the jack. Played the backhand, which he obviously favours, and played a beautiful shot. There's a spray shot going on, indicating that ball's a toucher, and has dropped since then. Yes,
There's 4 timeouts remaining.
One stage it was illegal to carry your ball up the rink, but you're mentioning Paul.
Yep.
There he is carrying the ball, and that rule was relaxed a lot of years ago. Thank goodness as well.
It's a different story if you put it down.
No, definitely not allowed to do that. Not an easy one, this, for Greg. Just get the weight right for bowl on the bowl. He has got a back green ball available to him, so if he gets it onto the jack, he's good.
It's away cleanly.
It's a hard shot.
1 shot, Alex Marshall.
Forehand is so difficult to play with weight. You're almost always on the high side. You can't afford to pull it in tight. If you do that, you've no chance.
length 29 meters.
Behind, Alan. Yeah, very slightly behind. Yeah.
So it's played again. Doesn't want to disturb it too much.
Well, that worked out really well. He got the solid ball, and I thought the jack was going to move.
2 green. My last one through, please, Alan. Your last ball, 2.5 feet.
Alex obviously thinks he's made the correction, and he has. Oh, he knew that was close, didn't he? As soon as he let it go, he was after it. Good players always know when they've got a good ball. Still there for Greg. A little touch on his own will be enough. Oh, is he under?
Very much so. Now then, Alex. It's a safe shot to be in a position to receive should the head be disturbed.
It's difficult for Alex, to be honest with you, because he doesn't really want to go near it.
Backhand, keep it out.
Stay away. Alternative, he's got the back position covered. Alternative is to drop short on the line and hope to be in the way. Tell you what, he's getting very close to this. Oh, that's a super shot. That's a really good ball.
One red.
Got closer than what I thought he would. I think just looking at his reaction there, it's maybe a bit closer than what he thought.
Last ball of the end, Greg Harlow.
Just over it.
One shot, Alex Marshall.
Yeah, I had to come inside Alex Marshall's ball because even just resting against it wasn't going to bring anything. 3 ends played, 3 singles to Alex Marshall. He's just having the better of things. Well, these 2 players have met head-to-head in singles since 2006 or 7, just the 3 times, which is surprising. And Alex Marshall has 103.
Yes, a lot depends, of course, where you play, Alex. He never really seemed to enjoy the Welsh Grand Prix, and it never really worked out why. But then it moved to Blackpool, and he was absolutely fantastic on it. So that's been a good move.
He's certainly not complaining.
Won that at a canter before, and you definitely don't want to play him down at putters. I suppose you could say the same about Greg Harlow when the International Open was at Sheffield in Ponds Forge, because he won a number of titles there, and the last thing you want to do is get Greg in that venue. It's funny how people like different places. Good ball.
International Open was a three-peat, 04, 05 and 06. He just owned that title. Got a full suite of World Bowls Tour single titles. That's Greg Harlow. Green lies one, but Alex Marshall is on his way. Looks just a little lazy.
He came up after that one. He must have thought he was a lot closer.
So just a tad heavy. Greg Harlow's an opportunity.
It's a careful high line draw with this. Don't get too close to the jack. Look on the high side to drop around it. Looks under.
Yeah, seemed to just bring it across his body a little bit that time.
One shot, Greg Harlow.
Seemed to be at a length where both players were struggling to get to it after a couple of really good bowls. I'd be happy enough to move away from it. That's interesting. Greg going for the short jack length by the looks of that, the way it was going up. Matt's up a metre or so.
Jack length 26.5 meters.
Well, medium length.
Marshall just distracted for a moment.
Well, he reset himself, put it in within a few inches.
Your ball 5 inches short of jack high. One red. 4 inches.
Played it again. And that's 2 red.
2 red.
So Greg will be tempted with this. Get the angle to come in off it. Yeah. Jack will probably move.
There was a little grimace there. He was too narrow.
He knew that out of the hand.
Your middle bowl is yes.
There's always the risk of the 2 balls leaving the head. It would be desperately unlucky that the jack didn't move. But so the answer to that is put one into the nearest green bowl if you can, or else go deep, see what happens. Got the last bowl to save if necessary. Yeah, he's going in deep. It's possible to the 2 reds to disappear if he gets the angle absolutely right, but that's just the way the front bowl's sitting.
Timeout called.
I almost feel he has to play it
Reckons
on
3
the
timeouts
forehand to get the 2 red out the right way rather than the backhand. It's not easy though.
So 2 of the 5 timeouts Greg Harlow has, he's used in the first 5 ends. Maybe a problem a little bit later.
I'm not surprised Greg's playing this. I just don't think he really fancied the things that could go wrong with the runner. He was probably just trying to come off his own ball, trying to get the angle right coming in, but just missed it.
Inside the back green ball is the target.
Not quite.
Just not enough.
Settle for the
2
2.
shots, Alex Marshall.
Well, looking on, David Holt in the middle of the Australian, and his Victor Dunnan Burnett alongside him. Stuart Anderson too, watching on, enjoying the action from the players' balcony here in Perth.
That's a great place to watch actually. It's get a good view. Monitors up there of course, so they can see the full actions. I prefer to sit down and relax.
3 feet.
That's a correction with the second delivery. Usually don't miss if they drop with the first one. The second one's normally fairly adjacent.
One red.
Not a bad effort. Oh, he's playing very well, isn't he?
2 red.
He's playing well, but he was a bit unlucky there because he's brought the jack out into the open. Really wanted to leave it hidden behind the ball. Force Greg into the forehand where he's got a different type of shot available. Yep, going for the runner. Well, that's opened the door completely and given him back position.
Favour the green.
One out, but more importantly for Greg, he's developed the position. Means Alex has got a choice here. He either draws in again or he goes for cover with the deep green
Timeout
one.
called.
Takes the time out.
It's always difficult whenever you've got a choice like this because you know the ball can be removed for 1 or 2 shots, but you also know that if the jack goes back, you may lose 3. Can't cover both things with one ball. Alternative is to draw in and try and turn the jack yourself, take the shot away from your opponent.
Well, he's close, isn't he? Oh, whoa, 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 whoa,
Whoa with the jack.
Yeah,
2 red.
it's too red, but
It's too red, but you know, won't do his heart much good. That one ball, if he'd hit it first, was perfect. Anyway, Greg will be after the 2 of them, split them for a possible 4. Was he narrow?
he is narrow. Well, what's he going to hit? The red ball and doesn't borrow his own green. And in the end, that'll be a good for Alex Marshall.
2 shots, Alex Marshall.
There was a chance though. Especially Greg on his forehand. You almost put your mortgage on it.
Yeah.
Normally so good with those forehand runners.
Jack length 28.5 metres.
Score, Sandra.
(7-1). Time for Greg to score. Needs a 1 or 2 here to give himself a chance in the last 2 ends.
Alex Marshall knows he's in control of this set. Just running through.
He does, but he's also aware of the fact that Greg can bang in 2 or 3 really good ends against him and close that gap. I think that was a bit unlucky.
Yeah.
Greg's last ball, Alan, please. He's 4 inches short of Jack high.
That's why Alex was interested to play the forehand. He didn't know just exactly where that ball was, so he can use it as a shoulder. His last ball, not his closest ball he was asking about. If he needs a shoulder, it's available to him. Doesn't need it if he has the running.
Position, Alan, please.
More the weight than anything else.
Yeah, look good otherwise.
Close for shot though.
Slightly favour yours, Greg. It's close though.
Greg, a little bit of extra weight to try and get to the red ball. He's missed it, but he's in a good place. Very good home. Alex needs another one in. If the shot's against him, he might as well play the backhand because it makes little difference. He can rest off his own ball. Forehand just has to put a little bit extra weight on from his previous delivery.
I'll go with the forehand option. Needs another one in, that red one. It's a little bit lonely.
He also needs them past the green ones, and he's not doing that. This is a chance for Greg. Turn the jack. Get the ball. The ball was probably worth 3. Seem to see it from a slightly different angle, but the ball out to me looks like it's worth at least 3. Jack turn round the corner in towards a deep position.
It's going to be another timeout.
Well, you know, really, if you can get the jack into that sort of position there, you're looking at 4 shots. Now, if he's able to get,
Greg has 2 timeouts remaining.
if he's able to get the ball out to there, rest it off, it's worth at least 3. So choices are available. It's all about what sort of weight he wants to use. That's the sort of weight that gives you a chance for both the ball and the jack. Now, will it get down from the height? That's all. Nope.
Sticking out there, and that was the chance he was looking for.
Nice weight for the ball, actually. Got the jack, it would have been good in it as well. Worth at least 2. Got the jack at that angle. Well, Alex is looking at this, he's not sure.
If in doubt, get the measure.
Absolutely. Alan Thornhill has said that he favours the green ball. Not much, he said, but he favours the green ball. Now, this is where the umpire and the marker are very worried.
Yeah, well, you can only make it's always a judgment, and the players know that it's a judgment. It's not a definitive.
I know, but if they get it wrong, when they go back into the players' lounge, they get some grief.
The calipers.
Like to see those out. Very accurate. Hey, Alex just walked away thinking it was
One shot, Greg Harlow.
a bit further in it than what he thought. And Alan Thornhill got it absolutely right. Reputation intact yet again.
He can go to the players' lounge later.
He can. He can.
Still advantage to Alex Marshall. Here's a familiar figure in Scottish bowls.
Jack
That's Ron
Bence,
MacArthur,
23.5
currently the president of
metres.
the Scottish Indoor Bowling Association, also a Commonwealth Games silver medalist. He was the cited person for Robert Conway. And the pairs.
Craig, another score this end really will help. Ball under Jack, that'll do. It's brought it over to his other one too. There's space between them. There's plenty of space for Alex to get in, but I think Alex should be thinking, well,
3 feet.
you know, just get the shot this end.
Yeah.
Certainly looks like a draw on the forehand. You wouldn't want to go into the last end unless it's necessary.
That's well played.
Well, notice Alex has now changed his bowls, of course. He's now working for a different manufacturer. And he will be using the Aero bowls from now on, as opposed to the Henselite that he was so involved with for so many years working for them. Well, not so much Henselite as a distributor for Henselite.
Greg knew he was short there.
Oh dear. So won't be happy with that, because Alex now knows the line to take after his last bowl. You know, just try and adjust the weight very slightly. A bit of a given, wasn't it?
1 red.
Yeah, that was a put your mortgage on type of shot.
Have to come down to the runner, remove the ball on the back. If he gets it absolutely right, he might just get the 2 balls. Not sure if the angle's right for the 2 balls. He's in the area. Oh, well.
Well, he lies.
I think he might have picked up a single. Let's just see. In the target area. So, has he been fortunate enough to lie the shot or not?
There's the little nibble.
There's always a chance of Jack bouncing up the green too with that shot. Alex playing a little controlled shot across the green. That's not easy. Gets his own ball, he could get a result. Or not.
Well, there was almost 3 choices there, wasn't there? There was a jack, the green ball, or play onto his own short one.
1 shot, Greg Harlow.
Well, Greg Harlow keeps things alive. But it is just a single, so a full house required to share the set. One of these instances, David, you're just defending now. If you're Alex Marshall, just don't give your opponent the chance and see it out nice and easy, no drama.
Play the same as he
Jack
has
Bence,
been playing
24.5 metres.
in this match so far. Keep them all nice and tight in. In some ways Greg will relax because he knows the chances of getting the 4 here are very remote, so he'll just relax and try and build the head up as best he can. Time was good the last time. It's just a matter of dropping a little bit of weight. Right through. Greg will draw another one here, and suddenly, well, there is a bit of room. You can see it better at that angle. It's a bit surprising Alex ran through with that sort of pace with the second ball. Now, Greg, have you pushed it up?
No, you've got to be there.
Well, I think that's it now, really. 2.5 feet short.
Last ball. The distance off the jab is 23.5 metres. 24.5. 24.5.
Alex just querying the jack length. Well, that's the way these guys operate to that. If you tell them something that's a particular length, they play to it as well. They don't need to do it. You can cite it, of course, but... and there you go, you see. There's the adjustment. Yeah, it's like telling someone the pace of a green. If you tell them it's 14 seconds, the top players will pop the ball down at a 14-second rate. You know, they're finely tuned that way. Not much for Greg here, except to try and pop it out and hope to stay. Yep. Little controlled weight shot.
It's too tight. It's one shot to Alex Marshall.
One shot, first set to Alex Marshall.
Well, if you were looking for a word to describe that opening set from an Alex Marshall point of view, it would be efficient. Did everything he had to do, did it well.
Yeah, it's no drama. Didn't need the big drive. Didn't have to play too many difficult controlled weight shots.
Last time these players met in the World semi-final back in 2015. 7-6, 7-5, a great game it was. Just 25 shots over the total of the match. Alex Marshall going on to win the title.
This looks good. Yep, coming all the way behind it. Good starter.
What is that behind Alan, please? Last bowl is 10 inches.
Well, this will be very much about who manages to play well at the opponent's jack length. Greg looks to be going short most of the time. He's preferring the longer jack length, so he just needs to rest into the ball here. Yep, that's perfect.
One red.
Both these players through round one. Easy qualifiers in the end. Alex Marshall against the Israeli Shalom Ben-Ami. Greg Harlow, slightly tougher prospect, Carol Porto with the USA. Both through in straight sets after both players lost in round one of the Scottish International Open last year.
One red. And the gap, please. On the shot bar, the gap is 2 inches.
Yes, I think the players all look around to see where the draws are for some of the more inexperienced overseas players in particular, where they don't get the opportunity to play on the indoor rinks as much. And for any overseas player to get these top guys, it's very, very difficult.
problem with this one.
Yeah, he's got it all the way. Looked good from halfway up.
One green.
No win. Lovely, just a arriving draw with enough weight to rest the ball. Now, it doesn't always happen that way, of course, Paul, you know that yourself, but you know, like Alex Marshall to lose to someone who doesn't play indoor bowls would just not happen. It just really would not happen. But some of the UK qualifiers in particular are very difficult. Off his own ball and roll back. Another good second. I must admit, I would like to see some of the really top Australians coming out. David Holt is an exception, of course. He's a very, very good player. Good representative for Australia this year, but I'd love to see some of their elite players, the players that go to the World Championships and Commonwealth Games. Greg's not even going to bother with the last ball.
Well, sometimes you can't improve on what you've got. I'll be happy to get ahead in the opening set. We saw Mac McLean last year reach the quarter-final.
Yep.
Did very well, the Aussie.
He did indeed.
Let's see how the champion is doing and how he's enjoying watching his clubmate Nicky Brett is with Dougie Vipond.
Thank you very much indeed. Yes, we were just talking there about what Greg would do for that last bowl in his hand, and yeah, you were saying perhaps just take the one. He didn't even bother throwing the ball down, but wise decision.
Yeah, I think he's just looking to grab some momentum, really. Alex has drawn really good so far, so Greg will sneak a one first end of the second set and try and grab an initiative early and put Alex back under the pump.
It's quite interesting, isn't it? Because Alex Marshall really looks on it in this match, but in this format, you know, forget about the first set. Let's get on with the second set, and you know, and it's anyone's game after that. Potentially, if you get to a tie break.
That is true. Greg will be looking just to sneak as many ends as he can and take it to the back end of this set, really. But Alex has drawn fantastic so far, so Greg will just be looking for a chip, a couple of ones and twos early to grab some momentum.
And Greg really does have the game to win this. There's no doubt about it. I mean, he's a great player, isn't he?
Oh, he is, yeah. I mean, but you know, it's like anything. Alex is, every time Greg's played a good one, Alex beat it almost the next bowl in the first set. So Greg will be looking for just to get a bit tighter earlier and then force Alex into a couple of runners and maybe get the wrong edge or something.
Okay, so how do you think this will end up then?
I knew he was going to say that. I'm going to go at tie break, but I wouldn't like to say who's going to win.
Well, thank you for that. You've turned into Andy Thompson then. You just like started sitting on the fence. Thank you.
Very good fence.
Nicky, thanks very much.
No worries, thank you.
There is no better fence in Scotland than the one in Perth.
Yes, we build it specially. Constructed gantry for people to sit on.
But Nicky made a very good point. When usually Greg has played a good ball, Alex responded almost automatically, and that kind of thing can wear on you if your opponent is. You've done well, but your opponent almost with the next ball just does that bit better. Yeah,
and that's exactly what Alex has been doing, but I think he was being diplomatic there as well, to a point, you know. I think Alex will know that Greg will come back at him pretty hard in this second set.
7 inches past Jack high. One green. 7 inches past Jack high. One green.
Good again. That's pretty much what I expected.
2 inches past Jack high.
As Nicky was saying as well, and I believe too that you're really trying to force Alex into playing the hard shots, the runners, because he's drawing so well, and because they're not easy.
Well, here is the running ball from Alex Marshall. He's got it.
Well, he has, but the jack's gone off into a respot position. His own toucher's in the ditch. That won't matter. because the jack's off the rink, and he'll go back on the respot, and Greg will be line 3. And he's got a ball to come, which will be 4. There we go. Lots of room, of course, but you know, at the same time, it's not the best result, is it?
No, if that jack had just held in.
Oh, it was unbeatable if it had held in the ditch, but that's what's going to happen if you're going to put the pressure on, and you just hope that your opponent, even if he's on target, you sort of hope that he hasn't the best result in the world. And Greg will be looking for a good close ball. Yeah, that's great. Now, normally Alex would just drive that, but because there's 4 against him, he can't. He's going to have to draw it. So first target is second shot, and then he'll be hoping to draw it.
So these players practice drawing to the respot. It's all part of the preparation.
There's never any bother with getting second shot. It wasn't the issue. It's just whether you're going to make it for the number 1. Just dropped a little short. Happy enough with that.
1 shot, Greg Harlow.
So Greg Harlow, who needs this set to force a tie break. 2 singles, leads by 2-0.
The difficulty with these sort of draws are that we know that either of these 2 players can go on and win the event. And
Jack length 29.5 metres.
they would have been preferring to have been sort of coming up against each other more in the quarter-final, semi-final stage. But then when you add in Stuart Anderson, Paul Foster, Darren Burnett, Nicky Brett, Robert Paxton, they're all potential winners. Andy Thompson's in there, and I wouldn't dismiss Andy in any way, mainly because he wouldn't let me. But no, Andy likes playing here, plays well here.
There's half a dozen former winners lined up at the start of the tournament. Nicky Brett is the man to beat, having won it twice.
Just under 3 feet.
One of those open tournaments where you sort of think to yourself, there's a potential 8 to 10 players who could win this out of the 32.
Yeah.
Four feet through with his first. This the correction. Oh, it's an easy game when you're as good as Alex Marshall. Greg Harlow off the other hand.
Needs an edge. Oh, he got the edge. That might be enough. He just got the tiniest edge.
It's very close to shot now, Alex. Slightly green.
It's a good call.
Very slightly. It's very close.
Alan really doesn't have enough time with the shot clock to go in and have a really good look at that. Oh, look at this. Look at this. The crowd were clapping that, what, 4 or 5 meters away. They knew it was close. And we were saying before, and so was Nicky, and we've been saying it too, Paul. Greg gets a good one in. Alex bangs it in right away. That's a super shot, it really is. He set up a back position for himself as well.
Change of hand for Greg Harlow.
He doesn't fancy the forehand the way it's sitting. Surprised at that. Thought he might have just tried to play it in the forehand, give himself a little chance of turning the ball over. But all down to personal choice at the end of the day, and he favoured the back. One on the measure. Greg favours us just the one. Yep.
One shot, Alex Marshall.
It's a bit of a match for the connoisseur, this, to be honest with you. You know, there's a lot in it that you don't automatically see right away. And to be truthful with you, you know, the shot clock is there, and it's there for different reasons, but really quite like to see this one with plenty of time available. There's a psychological battle going on out there as well, albeit between guys that know each other very well.
Slightly past, 2 inches past.
So little to choose between Alex Marshall and Greg Harlow. Greg Harlow, semi-final of the world last season, a round 1 exit in Scotland, round 2 of the International Open as he pops his opening ball right on top.
It was a big run by the semi-final. He needed that because he's at seeded 10, and that was a massive amount of points to pick up. Can't really think of Greg Harlow going sort of down the rankings. You always look at him as one of the sort of top 5, 6, 7 players, and others are coming through now with Nicky Brett and Robert Paxton.
Number 1 in 2006, yes, again in 2012. Never been out the top 4 in that period. As you mentioned there, he's down to 10, and that grabs your attention.
Green.
A wry smile there because he knows he's left the target, and Alex Marshall will more than likely play in with weight to this. Ooh, now movement somewhere, but start again.
Keeping a very close eye on this.
No, he's close.
Got it.
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing to disturb him there with that one. Played it well. Took Greg's touching ball off the rink as well. Same time. Could have locked on to the back red ball, but that would have been asking a bit much. He'd be very happy with that result.
Like that to run out as
green.
Well, the way Alex Marshall's playing, not convinced that's close enough. Still has a ball to play though.
Well, the only thing is coming after a running ball is the only problem, and the jack is off centre. I'm not sure if he's wide enough, that's all. He can be inside it if he's got good weight, not to drift too much. I think that's running off it.
1 green.
Yeah, weight was good, missed the line. That's rare.
As he admonished himself.
Is it the camera? Yeah, okay.
And it comes, played it well.
And Alex hit the head well,
2 shots, Greg Harlow.
Greg picks up the double.
Plenty of support on the balcony for Greg Harlow.
Yes, his wife Kay, along with
1.5 meters.
Les Gillett, Razor. Always like to see Razor about the place at events.
Good chat with him earlier.
Never fails to entertain, is our Les.
Good lad.
He's got a good history, Les, as well. I came to the fore back in 1997 through the qualifiers to win the International Open, and out of the top 16 for a while. He's fought his way through. And he's back into the upper echelons of the professional indoor circuit, and that's not easy to do. He gets a lot of credit for it.
Great determination to come back. He's enjoyed some success here in Scotland.
He's a good player, Les.
Gap on the last bowl is 2 inches.
He's going for the balls here, Alex Marshall. Accurate again.
Jack, there it goes under the respot. Bowler went through, but he'll not worry about that. The whole idea was to open it up. You can't always get a 100% result, but you'll be very happy to get a bit of space around it, because there's signs that Greg's just coming into things now. He's definitely the more dominant force in the second set. And Alex was very much the lead player in the first set. Well, that's stopping quicker than what I thought. I bet you Greg thought that was closer as well.
1 green.
Yeah, that's a better looking track out there.
Yeah, slightly higher line. Get the reward. All the way in he comes.
On the previous end, he did look a bit on the narrow side when he had to try the respot. That certainly looked better all the way. Yeah, and 18 inches is doable.
It's going to come the other way.
Oh, I can't blame him for that. He was very wide with his last delivery, and it made it into effectively in front of the jack, so he can't go any wider. He's been forced to come across the line. It's all about good weight now. Stop any time, anchors out. No, just a little bit over on the weight, and Alex can reply with the second shot, brings him right back into things. A spare shot opportunity, this one.
Again, he's out on a good line. If he got the weight just to bring it round and then stay. Here it comes, it's the winner.
Did it well, did it really well.
Two shots, Alex Marshall.
Good hit by Alex, followed up by two good draws.
Oh, we knew it would be close. It is. Alex Marshall taking the opening set. Greg Harlow with the advantage of 1 with 4 to play.
This is close.
It is close.
Jack fence 29 metres.
I don't think you would have worried just too much, to be truthful with you, because I think they're both playing well enough at almost any length. But you're always, if you're looking for the full length, always happy to see it come in. Jack stop on the rink. And you're even happier to see a first hole like that.
Playing away from the commentary box end, if we could see that all the way in. It's in the way for Alex Marshall, so he'll change onto the forehand. He's pushing it up. You can see him, which will suggest it's not where he wants it to be.
Looks a bit pacey, so he's going chasing a little bit.
18 inches.
Jack's off centre, so the normal situation at forehand would be it would hold off with a little bit of weight, so makes sense to play with a yard more. Chance of catching the ball or the jack. Well, he's trying to turn the jack round the corner. If he misses it, he gets a good position ball. Oh, that's lovely. It really is lovely there.
2 red.
Craig, forehand runner, just a little bit away on.
No, 1 out, 3 seconds now. Back position's all green.
I just want something in there. I want to draw a second shot. Something not close enough that both can be moved at the same time.
He was on the target area. He could have easily flicked the jack. Another ball needed. Close.
Forehand runner again from Greg Harlow. Narrower out the hand.
Yeah, look narrow.
2 shots, Alex Marshall.
Oh, that's a nice little two for Alex to pick up back to back. Be an interesting run in now for the last 3 ends.
Well, he ticked the boxes with his last ball, and he not close enough to get taken out, close enough to be the second shot. Gets him in the lead.
Yes, Greg very much going for opportunity of punching the jack
Fence,
back.
28 metres.
Where he had all the back position, of course, or taking one out for damage limitation. So 5-4, 3 ends to go. All to fight for. Still a tough one.
Looks well played. Little touch. Alec immediately onto the forehand. He can use the green ball to rest upon.
Think you hold once, close.
Greg will settle for that. Try and drop another one in. A little touch in the jack would be good. Drop on his own ball. Make a double. Put the pressure on Alex to play a shot here. Yeah, he's good.
Yes, exactly.
Alex using the jack level. That's interesting. That's the new term. Well, it's not new now. It's been in for a few years, but most people still call it jack high. Very proper from Mr. Marshall, MBE.
Jack high, the common term. Not the club's ball. Just to the side out, and he runs through.
Good place though, good home. That gives him options in the next one, but maybe thinking to himself, second shot would be good. Just gone an inch or two too far. Yeah, Alex will take a timeout on this. Looking at the respot position, he also can't afford to take his own ball out on a runner. If he does that, he's definitely 3 down. It might just be better to draw this off on the forehand.
Timeout called. Alex has 3 timeouts remaining.
You know, if he's dropping into there on the forehand, edges it off. The respot position, well, it's over in this direction.
Yeah, off to the right hand side.
Yeah, the white mark, the right hand side of your picture.
Harlow does have a ball to play.
He's looking just to try and rest up to the green ball and rest it off for the single. Jack through to his own ball would also be good. Dropped away.
That looks like it's worse.
Yeah, oh, I was unlucky. He wanted the ball, not the jack.
How many timeouts? 1, 2. 2 timeouts.
Greg's plenty of timeouts. He doesn't need to worry. 2 timeouts. But we see this. If he got the ball, he was absolutely perfect. Because he didn't have enough weight to carry the jack through. Disappointment. That ball just dropped away, and well, we don't know what the position is, but it's at least 1.
At least 1. Does look like 2. See what Greg Harlow does.
I think the reaction from Alex sort of gave me an indication that it's more than 1. But Greg trying to play into his own ball if he can. Drop inside to the reds, even better. Oh, what a shot that is. Oh. Yeah, I think he was almost thinking if I get a drop on the jack.
2 shots, Greg
Well,
Harlow.
it was only the 1. That was a really good ball.
Well, it
Greg
looked
has
like he was
1
lying
timeout
to,
remaining.
but it wasn't.
Just looking to see, he was hoping here just to get the edge off the red and drop back on the jack where he would have made 4. But 2 it is.
Well, Greg Harlow has 1 timeout left. 2 ends to play in this set. Potentially a tie break as well, so you might be in hurry-up mode a couple of times.
It's been good this
Jack
set.
length 29 meters.
Really good this set. Greg just moved up a gear in the second set and has been matching Alex all the way. On occasion putting him under pressure. Both players have been using weight shots to get out of bother. So there's been absolutely nothing between them. Alex just following that ball up to make sure he had the right line. Certainly has. He wasn't sure for a moment, encouraging it on.
Gap on the red bowl is 2 inches. On your bowl, it's 5 inches.
Greg's tempted to play this on the forehand as well, but he was so close with his last ball. Oh, that's I thought I heard a lot of talking going on there. Yeah, I think he's right. I think it's it was something that he was just indicating you should stop the shot clock there because it wasn't his fault.
Yeah, it didn't appear to be movement, it was noise.
Yeah, yeah, and you're perfectly allowable to do that. We've had it before, and it's happened before actually with a mobile phone, and we just stopped the shot clock and that's it. Forget about it.
There was a mobile phone went off in my church a couple of weeks ago. It was actually the minister's.
Excellent when that happens, isn't it?
Boy, did we have fun.
I bet.
To be fair, he was quite embarrassed.
Well, he was getting a call from his boss, wasn't he?
Here's Alex Marshall. Well, that's a bit of protection in front.
Gap on the shot bowl now is 1 inch. 1 red.
Greg might be looking at. He's still got the draw on the backhand, but it's very difficult. It really is. And is he can afford to go into the last end level, knowing he has to win the next end anyway? As long as he doesn't lose 2 shots.
Well, he was trying hard with that, just not enough weight.
You know, but both players have been reasonably tentative here, and can understand why. More so Greg has to be very careful. He would dearly like to open the head up, but just can't afford to. Alex drops this one in though. He might be tempted.
It's working its way back.
Ooh.
Just round the corner.
That's a useful one though.
1 red.
Every ball has value there for Alex Marshall. Well, he's gone on to the forehand. Thought he might at some stage, but he'll be just be trying to tap the ball, draw around it.
Hard shot, but he doesn't have the weight.
Well, he's needs to be careful. He really does. You know, it's one shot. Still has to win the last end, no matter what. You know, 2 shots. Well, that's different.
I mean, it's possible here for Alex if he can come round and just touch onto that jack. He could look at a 3.
It's tricky, I would say. You know, I still think he'll just play the draw. To be truthful with you, just try and drop in on the high side, leave it at 2. You know, if he can get 2, he'll be absolutely delighted. He really will be.
Alex has 2 timeouts remaining.
You know, he knows the way it's sitting with 1 green ball in there. If he can get to it, could make a difference. That's why he's looking at the angles, but it's terribly risky. It really is. He would like to go into the last end holding, you know, 1-2 shot lead, give himself a little bit of a buffer. But it'll need a very good ball to add another one there. But I don't think he's got any other choice but to draw.
Well, sometimes you've got to be wary when you've forced Alex Marshall into a drawing shot. It's a good line, is he here?
No.
1 shot, Alex Marshall.
Well, it was on the cards for a number of balls there, wasn't it? Last 3 or 4 balls didn't have any real effect on that head. But 6-all, 1-end shootout, and Greg will have the last delivery. Forced a tie break. Nothing between these 2 players in this set. It's been super stuff.
And the 3 singles meetings between these gentlemen since 2006. 2 out of the 3 have gone to tie break.
Jack length 28 metres.
Well, this is where a good first ball can dictate the whole end.
Greg making absolutely sure he was behind it. In this situation, you're better to adjust back than adjust forward.
Three and a half feet.
He's adjusted well. And he comes, Greg Harlow.
It looked good. No doubt about that. Alex will be looking to repeat his last ball, drop on the red one, fall back. But you can't do any more than that. Shot against, you draw the shot, see what your opponent does. Alex must like this because he's right up beside it, trying to encourage it forward. Just didn't have the weight. Another foot or so needed. He must have really liked that because he was right behind it. However, Greg Harlow's line the one, and he will play the backhand again, try and get onto the red ball as well, get a closer one.
Timeout called.
Timeout called. I think that's his final timeout.
Well, he gets a tie break, he gets an extra one anyway, so it'll be good for him. He might as well use them. This is an important ball. If he plays this absolutely right, it's going to be very hard for Alex Marshall to do anything about it, just the way the balls are sitting.
It's not there.
Oh, I tell you what, I reckon he thought that was closer as well.
Well, he knows he's given Alex Marshall a chance here.
Yeah, Alex will use his timeout as well. It's drop on the back, red ball, fall back, shot, set, match.
Timeout called.
He's looking at the front ball as well to try and take the green one out.
Alex has one timeout remaining.
I think the difficulty, Paul, was that he probably thought his last ball was right on it and it dropped short, and that's what is sort of making him quite hesitant. If he knew that he was half a yard short with his third ball, he wouldn't hesitate. He would just go straight in there and draw it. But because of that, he's thinking to himself, if I play this in the forehand, I could get ball on the ball and it doesn't matter.
A big decision for Alex Marshall. The draw of the weight shot.
Oh, he's going for the runner, ball on the ball. Well, he's in the area if he's watching it.
He's got contact on the red, but he doesn't take the green
I
out.
don't believe it. Oh, goodness me, that looks so good.
Greg Harlow, match tiebreak.
Well, he gave himself two chances there. A ball on the ball, a green ball out clean. Oh, split away from the green ball. Couldn't get any closer.
It's ahead. Your choice. First end tiebreak. Alex won the toss and has given
Greg Harlow and
Greg.
Alex Marshall not disappointing in this game. Alex Marshall felt he had it there, but it wasn't to be for the third time in 4 WBT singles meetings between these two great players. It's a tie break.
It's been good stuff.
Alex Marshall won the toss, has given the mat to Greg Harlow.
Yeah. I think he's still shaking his head about that ball because I think Alex was looking at it. I was watching him. I actually wasn't watching the ball because the body language normally tells you when he's right there with any of the top players. In fact, I would have said even a yard away from that, he reckoned he had it.
Back fence 25.5 meters.
It's good bowling. It's good stuff.
Well, we've seen very few tie breaks so far, certainly compared to last year. It seemed to be every other game.
Well, there's so many good players left in the event after the first round.
Yeah, 2.5
I think
inches past Jack High.
we're going to see a lot of tie breaks.
Maximum of 3 ends, of course. If you're not familiar with the format, 3 ends maximum. Single shot counts at each. And that's interesting. Not hanging around.
Well, he's opened it up. Fancy that.
Well, open it up. I mean, if you do get it clean and you run with it to the ditch, your quid's in.
Absolutely.
And if not, just open it up.
Oh, it can be a valid tactic when you're this good. It's not when you're not that good.
Yeah.
It's all right if you're Alex Marshall or Paul Foster or Greg Harlow or somebody, but it's a hard shot to play. Just replacing it with another, but Alex will be drawing this time. I'm sure there's enough space. Now, can he get his weight right after playing the runner? It looks quick. Oh, it is quick.
Very quick out the hand, didn't it?
Didn't expect it to be that far away. I don't think he did either.
Well, the thing with that was he realised that Greg hadn't played a particularly good second ball, and it was available to him. And Greg can now make the alterations required.
So much better with this one. Well, that changes things. And I tell you what, well, no, the angle's not right. I'm just thinking.
No, it was a small gap.
Where's the jack?
Very small gap.
Where's the jack going to go here? Probably off the rink if he goes for it. He can't draw it. There's no point. He might as well try and hit it. Jack will go on the respot if he does.
He's missed it.
Oh no, not the back one. Yep, that was actually a valuable bowl for him, and it might just stay on. It's right on the edge of the rink.
Have a look. And they're happy that it's in. It makes it hard shot. Greg Harlow will leave it alone. Has to come to the respot.
He'll just go to the respot. That's all he can do. Like, he's played a really good end here. Alex missed the chance on the first draw, and Greg closed it down. You know, it doesn't really matter if he gets very close to the respot. He just has to be closer than the red ball, and it's 2 or 3 yards away. So there you go. You know, he's 3-4 feet away maybe, but that doesn't matter. More than good enough. Alex might have to play this on the forehand and just try and chop the ball off and stay. That is a horrible shot, to be honest with you. In terms of difficulty, it's almost off the scale. There's no hit on now.
Timeout call.
Oh, this is a toughie. Yep, on the forehand, just over the weight. It's hard to judge the line, never mind the weight of it. Yep, just under. Didn't play through it.
First in, Greg Harlow.
Couldn't afford to be too heavy anyway, just had to try and draw it. That was a difficult one.
Greg Harlow takes the opening to this tie break, and we'll have last ball as well.
It's been a
Jack length 28 metres.
fantastic game. Alex had the edge in the first set.
1 inch under.
Very little between them in the second.
I got 1 inch.
Greg just edging that one. And now the crowd are hoping for a third end of the tie break.
Twelve inch gap. Sorry. 12-inch gap.
That's terrific.
Just needs to get down, that's all. The weight looks very close to me. Oh, that's a brilliant ball. Absolutely brilliant.
One red. My ball's slightly short. Yes, 1 inch short of jack high.
Well, there was no panic, there was no problem.
No, Greg will be tempted with this. Well, he's on the backhand. I thought he might have been tempted on the forehand. Ball on the bowl, ball on the jack, just to try and open things up a little bit. Played it slightly under the line, just didn't have enough weight to hold it. You can see the shot in the forehand. Alex isn't. He's played a great ball here, Alex, but the problem is that he now can't really afford to go near it. That's the difficulty. And if he does go near it, it's just going to make it easier, or possibly even give it away, and that would be giving match away with 1 ball to go. I think he has to stay away from it.
Do you come through? Do you try and plug the gap? Do you mess up the forehand?
No, because the backhand's playable as well. And it's available both sides for Greg.
Yeah, just coming around.
And he's playing on the respot. He really no shot. You know, absolutely no shot to play. You know, it's for, as I say before, for the connoisseur, this is brilliant. This is tactical genius. You know, about what to do and when to do it. With Greg on the forehand now, ball on the bowl. You know, it's a wonderful psychological battle out there. I expect Greg on his forehand in particular to be close to this. Yep, and he is. Now, will he get it right? Yes, he has. And that was the problem for Alex. He couldn't go near it because he couldn't afford to give the shot away. But
2 green.
That's an amazing ball. It's superb from Greg Harlow, and he has a match light.
He had to leave that shot and hope that Greg missed it. That's all he could do.
So it's advantage England.
Now the difficulty is that that plant looks like it's taking his closest red ball out, but he still has the front red one. So if he's looking at it, I think he's going to have to play the runner straight through onto the green ball. It will take out, and this is where the problem is, that it will take out this ball probably. I would imagine that will happen. But he still has the front one.
Both players with 1 ball to play. So that complicates things as well.
It does. It does. So it's because the difficulty is he has to go pretty hard at it if it's on the forehand to make sure all the balls go. His best result would probably get the front ball onto it and get it on the respot. It looks wide.
Oh, yeah. Such are the margins of balls at this level. And Greg Harlow snaps a 3-game losing streak against Alex Marshall and World Bowls Tour singles. What a game. We expected an epic match, and that's precisely what we got. Alex Marshall took the first set. Greg Harlow took the second. At the tiebreak to the Englishman by 2-0. It's Greg Harlow who advances to the quarter-finals of the Scottish International Open.
Well, we knew it was going to be a great game. That's turned out exactly that. Ends 1-10 each. Total shots scored 14-10. That's really due to the first set being 8-3 for Alex Marshall. Touchers, nothing in it. It was super stuff. Alex just shaded the first set, Greg the second. It was a game for the connoisseur, there was no doubt about that. Wonderful bowling, and it's Greg Harlow just gets past Alex Marshall into the quarterfinals.
Yes, Greg Harlow through by a whisker, but through nonetheless. Greg, I spoke to you before this match, and I said to you, we're expecting this to be an epic tussle, and it certainly was that.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure at halfway it was going to be an epic tussle, but I was glad it turned into that one for you. Yeah, cheers.
Absolutely. And Alex, I mean, you got off to a great start, doing really well at the start there. You know, line and length was very, very good, and it was looking promising.
Yeah, I was very happy, but I always know that Greg's going to come back at me. Greg wasn't to sell the first set, but I kind of dominated the first set, played really well, and happy with the way things were going. But as I say, I expected Greg to come back strong, and he did.
This format, of course, if you lose the first set, you can almost forget about it, because there's always that option, isn't it? And that seemed to be the way you were playing the game, because you were struggling a wee bit in that first set.
Yeah, I was dropping too many short bowls, to be honest with you, and I never give up on a set, but to be honest, the first set in my mind had gone, and I was trying to reset for the second set, because I needed a start in that one. If not, if I let Alex away in the second set, you know, be down the road.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess maybe the turning point in the match was the seventh end of the second set from your point of view, and a big bowl required to put the pressure on Alex.
Yeah, not necessarily. I'd got a good lead and then let it slip. And then, yeah, it was a big bowl again to get my nose back in front again, which is all important when you're chasing to win the second set. So, yeah, this just got me my nose in front again. I played a good end. That was probably my best end of the match, to be fair.
Yeah. It was all looking very good indeed, and you were. I remember at that point, Alex, you did clap, because it was a fine bowl, and it put the pressure on you, forced you to play with a little bit of weight on your finals bowl of that set as well. And what was your thoughts behind using the weight as opposed to the draw?
What I was really looking for is to get, you know, Greg's bowl, you know, sorry, Mon's short bowl onto Greg's bowl, and I thought all the way I had it all the way, because the red ball was touching the green ball, and I got the 3/4 of the red ball, but the green ball just didn't move. Even if the green ball rolled over once, it would have been enough, but you know, Greg still had a ball to come, but you know, it would have made a difference if I moved that green ball.
It was millimetres, wasn't it really, Greg? I mean, standing watching that, I noticed you kind of you breathed a sigh of relief at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I could see he was on target, so I was sort of setting myself to say, right, okay, you've got about 8 inches to redraw the shot, which is never easy to save the match. And as Alex says, as the red one disappeared and my green one stayed there, it was, you know, relief, to be fair. I'm glad not to play the last bowl.
I'm sure you were. And let's look at the tie-break as well, because I mean, ultimately a very, very big bowl from you to close out the match, essentially force Alex into a big shot.
Yeah, I think I was probably in the ascendancy then. Alex had been in charge of the whole match. I'd pinched the second to get into the tie-break, and then I was probably feeling the most confident I'd been through the whole game. And again, that was just a great shot that I just felt I could get, whereas probably in the first set I wouldn't have felt I could get anywhere near that one, to be honest.
I guess that's the thing, Alex. You know, confidence is key in this game, and his line and length was getting really, really strong towards the end of the match, where yours had been absolutely on the money at the beginning.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, as I say, you know, Greg played a brilliant shot with that last ball, and he virtually left me with nothing to play. You know, the only chance that I had was really getting one red ball into Greg's 2 balls, or getting the red one onto the jack. But again, if the jack goes back, Greg's still got 4 feet to draw the shot, and that guy just doesn't miss.
He certainly doesn't. He was on fire, no doubt about it. But quarterfinals for you again here in Perth, and playing very well.
Yeah. I mean, obviously happy with that. I need to start a bit earlier, because obviously if not, I could be in trouble. Again, I think overall the game, I think I probably pinched it a little bit. I think Alex was the more consistent, but very happy to be in the quarterfinals, and I'll look forward to it. I believe it's Thursday now, so day off.
A day off. Well, enjoy yourself this evening. Alex, commiserations to you. A great match once again here. Greg Harlow through to the quarterfinals. Well done. Wow, absolutely fantastic stuff from these two, and great bowls. Alex just great in that first set. Greg really got it right at the right time. He's through to the quarterfinals of the competition. Now, who will be in the quarterfinals alongside Greg Harlow? Will Andy Thompson be there, do you reckon? Well, I don't think anyone would argue if you called Andy Thompson Mr. Consistent.